aggression here from T1 towards the middle. Drone, he's back on the Phoenix. So I think a matchup that they are really worried about or maybe concerned about or really want to come out on top. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's go back to something that we know. And boy, do we know how to play with Drone leading the charge. So we'll see what I think is probably going to be the Brimstone. Brax going to find an early pick. Sorry, the Brimstone for Subroza. But already there's a lot of action towards the middle here. And it's really going to go the way of the man advantage here for T1. Food just doing what Food does. He'll take out a lot of those members. And now hazed, the last member standing here for TSM. Not a whole lot can be done, but the pistol on a defender's side of the map goes to T1 with what looks like to be coming up very shortly.
Yeah, and that's why like the kills look so casual, which is why you still had this lobby music being played like Elevator, because it was T1 just holding it so well towards that mid side. The lurk didn't work from TSM either. So now you're going to try to see if hazed could actually clutch it, at least on a 4 versus 1. He has a spike. At this point, you're not looking for a save. You did go for some armor. Yes, maybe you could save that, but you still want to do the econ damage. Now he drops down. They're going to hear him. He spots first. He sees 2 guys, one from the spawn side. The orbs are coming down as well from the AZ. Oh, actually, AZ is playing as an Omen, so that's changed a bit, at least from the composition of T1 side. So now hazed is going to have to repeat versus Skadoodle, who is keeping the stage to this map, and probably going to be the stage offer too. Going for that wide swing, he does get the kill stolen by Brax, who's
the components of their play that worked so well in maps previous and months previous.
Satchel charges coming out here from Food, who's trying to get some pressure done on this mid side, and he will. As he falls back, gets the headshot onto Subroza. As the attackers of TSM had 4 players to start things off here towards this mid side. They are trying to go for some sort of a boost, but or a split rather. But the thing is, on the B side, where you have that Cypher playing with the camera, it's hard to do that split. So you're doing a lot of pressure towards this mid side. Now Food even gets some backup from Skadoodle, who gets headshotted by Cutler. Paint shells to come down. Cutler gets a second one. Long range in the face, but eats the paint shells at the same time. But so far, it's looking good for TSM on such a minimal buy. I think they really only have classics in their favor. Trying to go for a double swing. hazed gets the kill onto AZK, who is trying to pressure back versus Wardell. So 2 guys super low on HP. There's a 24-second cooldown on to the heal. So they could wait for this and have one that's going to be full health with 10 seconds left on the clock to try to get a plant. So they're walking back towards the sewers to bring this timer onto their favor and being closer to a site to get a plant. But you still have a Phoenix playing on the top out there at the A ramp. Gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, but even then, like, you kind of roll the dice there and you say for the side of T1, can he win these 1v1s? Yes, he can. I was going to say, if they just swung together.
And if they're trying to push into A, like you said here, Simo, the run it back here could get popped off. And then they might be able to just keep that busy to give it a chance here for the Omen to push back out as AZK. So Wardell is going to be the one on that operator looking back inside that site. They have a super passive crossfire set up for the defender side, so really some sort of a retake play, at least from AZK side. So we have to come up huge from this Phoenix inside the site as he's peeking out, and it's going to be crashies picked off by Wardell. Should be an easy site to move in now. Paranoid will come out. Easy shot from Wardell for the second one onto AZK. And we're still attempting to go for some sort of retake if we could get an early kill here with Brax. Brax going face to face, but it's doubled up by hazed. A bulldog to the face, quickly traded out. And that is definitely going to be the call for Skadoodle to save, as TSM will get the first point on the board in this first half, but the first gun round into the game.
You know, every time Wardell gets a frag in this best of 3, I expect chat to be either spamming one of the two. He don't miss or stop the cap. One of the two is going to be spammed. But, you know, that's a great round for TSM, and they could be happy that they at least win the gun round, especially on a map like Split, where the attack rounds can come so far and few in between, especially when you're up against a team like T1, who at one point or another, the round to follow, if TSM are able to squeeze out another one of these attack rounds, they'll at least start to gain some momentum back into their favor.
No more charge.
And now it's going to be an early pick from Skadoodle onto Wardell. So they're bringing sniper versus sniper. And it's Skadoodle that's going to come out unscathed and give the 1-man advantage in favor of T1 to start things off. But you see it right now from TSM. They are still trying to group up towards this A main while still having hazed lurking out here towards this B side. And they've done this a lot as well versus Sentinels. And it hasn't really paid off into their favor at that point. So we have an early dark cover, from the Omen of AZK towards the front, but it's still going to give an area for Subroza to pick up the operator that's going to peek through, and crashies gets punished for that one. So a match smoke that's capitalized here from TSM, but a counter paranoid to come through as AZK gets the kill onto Drone. Now a 3-on-2 situation with the spike down to get the res up for a 3 versus 3. The ult will be picked up by Wardell once he makes it back towards short. And that might be the call for them to fall back because they still have a lot of time to work with.
Skadoodle holding on here, but Wardell's going to find one early pick, and now as he peeks around the corner at the wall and revenge, it's sweet. Still has to deal with food. He's now in the retreat. Has the Bulldog, switches to the knives, and it's going to go straight to the dome. Now, the 1v1 Brax versus Wardell, and Brax already in the sewers. Here he comes, and the headshot connects.
Qs come through if Drone runs through the cyber cages, but on top of that, with that trap wire, they wasted a lot of time on that run it back, which means that Drone was only able to spot that player behind the screens, didn't have enough time to react for the player playing at the elbow. So that means that when TSM committed into the site, they were all focused on trying to take down the screens defender, and then it was an easy paranoia to come out from AZK. And with that, if they weren't able to spot AZK, the round would have been it for TSM because of those 2 kills from Wardell at mid side covering that res. So moment of salvation, at least for TSM, is that they're able to waste that res into this round. They keep an operator, so they're forcing into the buy. They're going on this gamble here, but he misses a shot and Food wins the fight. So that's an operator down, but as we peek out, there's going to be a couple of shares moving forward, a wall to come up as well, and now they've nullified all of that and also nullified the operator. Even a satchel charge to come towards that back. A flash so they could peek out, courtesy of Food, kill onto Drone. Meanwhile, though, hazed has made it into the site. He did win the fight against the Cypher, picked up the Phantom. They're going to try to go on a big flank here because you still have Cutler with the spike, who's running back towards that spawn to pick it up, actually, and they will come and meet up on the A side. So hazed has to come up big, though, but Brax is in a great corner at the spawn side to take him down, and now it's looking also grim for Cutler and TSM. All they want is to get into the site, at least to get a spike plant.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. See anything, we're going to keep an eye here on this mid to make sure TSM don't push up. We're going to wall it off, and if Brax dies there, then it's bad for T1 because things get crazy, right? It gives Cutler space to push in towards A, and you know, they'll clear out Heaven on that A site. So great play from T1, even though it was a little bit of an eco for TSM. But now the gun round comes in. And yet another round that is very important. That's AZK, he's caught with a paranoia in his hand, and Wardell, he slices and he slices, but it's Skadoodle that ends the terror. Now, 3v4, fight going down. Let's see how T1 answers this retake.
Well, on top of that, you have a neural theft, so very difficult for T1 to try to come back into this round. And they go the corner, so they force out Drone to peek out, and he wins that fight at least versus Skadoodle. So Brax still on spawn side, Molly on the ground, wasting a lot of time so they could really focus just on the Heaven. And you can see it, Brax is already falling back. He's going to pick up the operator for Skadoodle, and they will decide to save these weapons. crashies in a good angle at least to look for some exit kills and still run out safely. Because he still has a curveball in his favor to be able to run out. So at this point, it's safe to say it's going to be 7-2. He gets dinked on top of that, and there's the hot hands to try to pull him out, and he's going to try to retreat towards that spawn side. He will be able to do so. Oh, look at that. He still manages to stay alive no matter what here. It's going to be 7-2 for the remaining players of TSM, keeping 3
up, but this time, called it once again, not playing very one-dimensional, giving them a lot more space to work with.
So now Drone and company moving up from the ropes, looking for a split into the A side. Still, another gun round coming in for T1. One at the elbow, one towards the left side, playing super passively here for the defenders. But Food's in a great position. Spotted Drone on this rotation as it's coming back towards spawn. Subroza, though, is in a great spot to try to counter it back. So he puts a molly on the ground, but at least the timing's off. So a favor coming in for T1 so they could focus on 3 players inside the A site now, but they have to act quick. So Frost Orbs on the ground, AZK still hopping around his corner, and Wardell this time is waiting for it. Food gets a kill onto Cutler, though crashies still in the back by the screen. The curveball to come out, that's going to land onto hazed, who's still pushing forward towards screen. We touched the wall up, so he can get advantage here of the elbow side, but he will not win that fight versus crashies, who is still anchoring strong inside the back of the screens. So Wardell, with his teammate Subroza, will have to try to clutch here. This 2 versus 3, as Subroza is still on the top at Heaven.
Oh, crashies going perfect. Unfortunately, he's going to fall. Food there with the refrag, now down to the 2v1. Brax has finally joined the fray, and Wardell has to play this massively spike going down. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. Food knows that.
You have as well hazed on the other side, but the crossfire does not work. They both die instantly, and that is already be having under control for T1. Only Cutler play inside the site, has the camera on top of that too, and as that camera gets blinded, he's going to have to call for some sort of rotation. It's only
charges left.
going to be drone rotate because you also have Brax all around towards this A side, so he's waiting for that fight. But Brax instead to play the safer route, falls back from the heaven side. Nice dink at least from Cutler, but he does not complete the kill.
Oh, that just feels so bad. Food and crashies comboing those abilities together. Slow orb and the paint shells sends drone back to the graveyard, and now for Wardell, all on his lonesome. I mean, no use in saving the weapon that he's got. We'll see what he ends up doing, but I think he's honestly just hanging out, maybe looking for exits, because at this point it's a 5-on-1. Even if you go in, would you either try to find 1 or 2 risky kills, or 1 or 2 kills that are guaranteed but have a lower chance of actually happening? He's gambling on the latter, hoping that somebody walks into his open arms. I think they're just going to hang out in the defender spawn. I don't think they have any need to hunt, especially considering how close they are to map point. And for TSM, this is where the game begins, okay? They're going into the gun round.
And that's a 5-on-4 to start early for TSM.
And he's going to smoke himself off, get the safety, pre-fires through the smoke. He's actually going to get taken down to 56. But it is, of course, going to be hazed heal orb that'll bring him back up to full. But ACK on the opposite end, he's going to be still trying to find his way through, and he's not really quite healthy. Wardell with the op. I mean, you say he don't miss, but he's going to miss that one. And Skadoodle with the ghost. Oh, send my regards. And now still down to the 2v4. We'll see how Skadoodle and Brax can get the job
You will
done.
not kill
If
my
Brax
ally.
gets the kill, then maybe they're going to go for a res. No, he's actually going to run all the way back towards spawn. So Brax is going to lurk around. It's pretty much going to be a 1 versus 1 inside the A site, as they haven't really cleared it, right? Brax says, okay, I made it into ropes, but you still have to try to clear site, Skadoodle, on your own in a 1 versus 1. But as Skadoodle is walking into there, they're not going to have enough time for 1 to clear. So Drone should get the easy kill, and there you go. He even peeks down on top of that. There's 6 seconds left on the clock, and now as they're coming across here, Drone is looking for that frag, even a curveball to make sure the spike has to be planted because he blinded himself. And now he's actually, okay, at least he's going to win that fight. He's with HP, so Subroza at least gets that last kill onto Brax. He was going to get stressful at that point because Brax was still alive, right, towards his heaven. While this action was happening towards his A side, if Brax was able to land, how do they react to this?
Well, it's just unfortunate that they've conditioned their opponent.
Joke's
to think
over!
Brax
You're
will
dead!
be in a position. And I'm liking this early rotate. He's going through the ropes. He's going to come support his team. Drone tries to get back to gather information, but it's the clone that quickly dissipates. And now Brax, he's there with his team. He's there beside crashies. They're going to try to push in. They're still waiting for this push that might come in from Brax on the A side, and they've committed a lot of resources, like you said. For the first time, and I think this entire second half, he's playing towards the mid of the team, and that means when they push in, if they trade, these trades are going to go well. You see the setup. ACK, ready with the paranoia. There's 2 towards heaven. It's Drone and Subroza, 2 of either current or past IGLs for the team. We're ready to try to stop any of these pushes forward. Here they come. The orbital strike is going to make it that much more difficult. There's the showstopper, and it's just bad news bears
Your
for
duty
TSM.
is not
But the rest
over.
comes in. They nullify those odds, and T1 now. How are they going to push in? They have to deal with the shot that's coming in from heaven. They use the only queen on it. Skadoodle, he actually walls up Wardell. He misses 3. Has to up right in the air, and ACK will take him out. But it's pandemonium on the site. Down to 1. Skadoodle, does he have what it takes? Now it's the 1v1. Drone versus Skadoodle. Sorry, Subroza versus Skadoodle. Does he have time? 9 seconds remain. Gotta get the spike down. And Subroza to the gunplay and down to the strategy. And so far for T1 on this attacker side, really hasn't worked out. I mean, you love to see the Brax lurk, but TSM, they found an answer. Let's just have Subroza. Let's just have Drone play, mix it up. Play towards heaven. Play towards the site. Play towards ropes. Let's just keep it fresh, keep it comfortable, and have T1 say, what the hell? How did Subroza be in ropes? He's never in ropes. He's always in heaven. Wait, how did I die to Subroza in the tunnel towards the garage? Wait, wasn't he supposed to be in heaven? Keep the team guessing where you are. And while Brax's picks have been good in the first couple of rounds, it hasn't been working out.
stuffed.
Well, we are pushing into the site. 15 seconds left on the clock. They have no money. So we only have a Marshall right now
Out of charges.
for Elisa's stage. And it's going back and forth, and the clock is still ticking. They're finally getting the plant down. They've cleared out the A site as well, and they have big fraggers for the team. Talking about A, you're talking about Food, and now you're talking about Skadoodle as well. But Subroza is still alive for TSM. Gets the first kill. They also have a heal from the Sage that could be used right now once they meet up, or unless it's on cooldown at least. But Food's in a great position under the heaven. A crossfire set up with Skadoodle as well. The wall is going to come up at the same time, so they might make the switch. Skadoodle gets the first
Nice.
The swing comes through, sorry, from Food, and he gets a third kill onto Drone, and they almost made it to the tie. Second map now. One map away from T1 to knock TSM into the lower brackets here for the Nerd Street Gamers FaZe Invitational. We are still in the upper bracket, and look at this. We have the defender side of TSM first with Subroza being tagged, forced to fall back, and a quick split happening from T1.
Yeah, and we're already seeing some of the things that we predicted. Skadoodle back on the Sova, you know, Subroza back on the Phoenix, but that might have to get thrown on pause. There's an engagement here on the B site. A couple of kills already traded away. Subroza back of sight, and he's already calling for some of his team members to start to rotate back over towards this B site. And now, as they funnel in from the defender spawn, Subroza's got a pretty big job here to take out at least one or two members. Make it a lot easier for the rest of the TSM members to funnel in through the vents. But Subroza's got to deal with this 2v2 kind of separated right down the middle. Back into the corner he goes, finds Skadoodle. That's a good shot. Now the Molotov as well coming in from the side. Subroza finds another one. Drone on the Sova will help get the job done. And now Brax gets caught with his hands in his pockets. Hopefully he's reaching out for the W, but it's going to be the L that he pulls out instead. And TSM win the very first pistol. Vancilla, you called it. They needed to win. Out Subroza, but now he swings with the one-tap Guardian. He himself will get one tap, as Wardell will also answer back. Pandemonium here in B short. He gets tagged and now has to retreat.
This is so good right now. The play style has changed already from TSM playing on Bind, really using the teleporters to their advantage. Quote unquote, because nobody really uses teleporters as much as right now TSM has been doing on the defender side. The last round they went to teleporter B to crunch for showers. This time they're doing it towards his mid side to cover B. But a nice shock dart from T1 is going to put Wardell down to 54. They are trying to move in, waiting for his teammate to rotate, but Food pushed forward from a satchel charge and gets the kill. But you still have Cutler at the elbow. Peek, first headshot, catches Food off guard. Trying to go for the spray through the wall is going to be the Cypher of Brax on the other side, but now also Skadoodle is going to move forward. So a 2-for-1 into that push, and a 2 versus 0 pretty much as T1 has won that fight. hazed is looking to clutch a 2 versus 1. He does have a Hunter's Fury that's coming out here from Skadoodle. They are shooting around the site. He's looking to tap that spike and looking for that spray to come out, or at least a swing to come out from Brax, but Brax does so. Another tap to come through, and that recon dart is going to get so much information away, but he still wins that one. And somehow Skadoodle swings out. hazed gets the kill, double Guardian kill, and the round comes in for TSM as hazed gets the defuse. They're moving in forward for T1. They do have a gun round once again from the spike plant from that previous round. AZK moving forward here with the Phantom to try to clear out towards Showers. And you can see from this mini-map, all of them are all grouped up towards his A side. And they are looking for some big push as a team to take over the A side.
Now for T1, they've got a lot of light armor. So when they peek through here, and Drone's on the opposite side, they're going to need support from hazed. And as he peeks forward to try to help Drone, he gets taken out of the process. Subroza back on site. He's also taken out. The last two members remaining for TSM have to rotate back over, but they're like, we want none of this. It's 2v5. The odds of us winning, especially with the weaponry that's online, slim. And I think Wardell's got the op that they want to carry off into the next round. There it is. So we'll see how they defend. I don't know if T1 is going to go hunting, but a great round for them. They forced the issue. 2 picks and showers. They're like, okay, that's an easy A side take, right? You know, if you think about it logically, they're going to have a bare minimum of 2 people towards that B site, right? Like, it just makes sense. So once you find 2 picks, you're like, that's an easy take for us. Let's push in, find whatever else we need. Subroza, unfortunately, is kind of caught with his pants down, not really sure where to look, what side of Tetris are they going to come from. Now T1 actually decides to go hunting. We'll see how expensive TSM make it out for them.
Wardell looking to save his operator. The swing comes out. He should be able to... Wardell pushing down towards long B. He didn't spawn anybody there, as we do have... Actually, Food was spotted by a recon arrow, so they have some sort of an idea. Towards his B side, and Skadoodle reads him like a book. White Swings gets the frag as he puts Wardell out of position, but Subroza trying to even it up with the run it back. Now low HP is going to be Food pushing in, and he gets wall banged by Drone. And again, I don't think it's about the healing at this point, because you're looking at so many Counter-Strike players that they're okay with playing with low HP. They can still get some kills right now, and they don't really need the heal. So they really want to put the duelist into their favor. So a double duelist for T1. And we do have a double duelist as well for TSM, but that being the operator with Jet. Drone now anchoring in the back of the site by his lonesome, but a flank is still coming here from Subroza at long B. So they're in a tough position. If at least Brax can get a kill, they can hit the teleporter into A, and that's exactly what's going to happen. There goes that first kill, and they even get the flanker. So Subroza is going to fall. Cutler has to come up huge. He has the operator, as it did have a double up set up here for TSM. And what's going to happen at this point?
Yeah, they call the portal, but Cutler, like you said, now his job becomes even harder. Yes, Drone is in rotation. He smoked off, and now they have to pretty much go through the vents together. The smoke also will cut off the vision of the vents. And now here comes the Hunter's Fury. Actually, Drone gonna find it there, and he's gonna fight too. Drone tags the second, and now here comes Cutler. He's gonna swing, takes out 4 spies, because if they lose this round, then they pistol, and then in the last round, they make their last and final mark with the gun round. So they're anticipating a potential loss coming in. And as a result, they want to play with their money smart. Wardell is going to try to find one. He misses 2 crucial shots. That might be the round. Okay, that's not the round, but that might be so detrimental to what happened. Brax is going to find hazed. It's a quick trade from Drone. And already, we're seeing Subroza. He's got the long flank. How long will it take him to get there to support his team? It's 4v4. Here comes the swing from Drone. Crashies sends him to the Nether Realm. Cutler now has to help Wardell try to retake the site, while Subroza is taking his time. He's trying to make it back towards the site. For the side of T1, they've held down these post plants, 2 towards lamps, 1 actually held down on and near the spike. Crashies has a great crossfire to help Skadoodle survive. But now, as Subroza starts to come forward, they are starting to try to pinch in. Now they come in toward the lamps. It's Cutler. He's on the side. They're just playing cat and mouse, but he's going to find one. Food will be able to answer back. And now Wardell, he has to question himself. Will he fight? Will he try to get this spike through? He is just looking for exits now at this point. But as that spike's about to blow, there's not really a whole lot left that Wardell can do
on the defender side. And look how confident they are to start. 3 players to push forward into the short A. It's Wardell with 1 and 2. Now we have Food throwing everything that he can in terms of satchel charges and also paint shells. And Wardell gets the hat trick on top of that, capitalizing on the paint shells coming down. And that's going to be the A defense pretty much open, but the 2 last players looking to rotate for T1.
We've seen some miraculous things happen before, and we'll see how T1 are able to bring some of those miracles to life. For TSM, all the odds are in their favor for this hold on this A site. Now Skadoodle trying to clear things out to Owl Drone. Smokes on smokes now, puts Skadoodle last one in the mix, and it's Wardell with 4 on the round. I think this is where they may be feeling comfortable and at home. TSM need to do something quickly. Yes, I know it's a pistol, but the next round to follow, they will at least have the opportunity with the gun round to make a difference. The round that we are in is currently a fight for Shower's control, and TSM are working their way up through A short, while the rest of T1 still have a lot of support towards the B site. But considering it's a 3-stack for T1 here, means that they're ready. There's the one-way. Unfortunately, there's a flash. Now it's a showstopper. Sends it down, finds one, and finds the second with the spray. AZK with the crossfire. Archie pushing in. He will actually lose his life. But Brax sprays with the smoke towards the shower.
To a 3rd and final map, and you see how aggressive it is from T1. They really want to try to take the orbs fast and quick, so they can actually bring as many ultimates as they can to put this into their favor. But Subroza is trying to seal the deal right away. He gets the first kill onto Crashies, and we are pushing aggressively here for TSM. And we have a counter Owl Drone that's going to give information. I think he's spotted 2 or 3 off that point of view. Now he gets tagged himself. But low HP is going to be Skadoodle on top of that. And despite now picked up by Subroza, they're looking to walk back towards the A. And there you go. There's a teleporter.
Fortunately for the side of T1, only 1 ultimate available. I don't know how close everyone else is. And for AZK, that's unfortunate. Actually gets rid of the recon hold. Now going to play a little more aggressive. He's going to get burnt alive at the crisp with the hot hands. Back to his own. Now clone that comes through. It's quickly taken care of. They're holding on to the site. Here come the paint shells, lobbed over the APC, but Skadoodle playing close with the op. Has to deal with, I believe it is Cutler on the opposite side. He's got the Cyber Cage, allowing him to retreat. Now going to be going into the connector. One on the opposite side, it's Subroza who swings wide. He's going to find one, but Food. He takes out Wardell. One of the star firepower players for TSM. Cutler really has to clutch this out. Headshot onto Brax. That's huge. And now all down to Food. It's Subroza back there watching the flank, and he takes out Food. A great round for TSM. Defense, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, that works.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening. T1 had a great attacker side, but since then the map is now defender sided. Subroza, early pick onto Food. Whoa. It's actually going very well here for TSM. They break open onto the site. They find 4 picks here. We're sorry. Actually, yes, that is TSM. And now just down to one final player. It's Brax. He spotted out. And TSM, a flawless pistol. Mid-controlled drone. Almost in the defender spawn of all places, but he's using the dark cover to at least give him some space. And so now T1, 40 seconds left on the clock. TSM have got to act, and they're deciding to choose that the A site will be the site where things are hot and heavy. Now for Drone, he's going to be on rotation duty. I'm not quite sure T1 expect this. So now hazed, setting things up with the paranoia. Wardell with the early op shot with Skadoodle as he starts to rotate through. Will he be spotted out by Drone? He's making sure to cover his flank. He is, but still loses the gunfight. Crashies, though, holding on to the site. Eventually loses his life. And now just down to Brax. Has to take the duel with Drone, wins the duel, but now you have to deal with 2 healthy members. Wardell, well, sorry, 1.5 healthy members, but Wardell with the op. Brax, all they need to do is sneeze on him, and those long-range sneezes, we've seen how those can be quite handy. Brax, if he's able to make, like, yeah, if he's even able to win the 1v2, I'd be impressed. So I think backing away is obviously the smarter play here. Yeah. Save the weapon. But let's talk about the repercussions of this, VanSilly. This is a defender-sided map, but look at TSM. They're in the lead. They win a round that they, to be honest, desperately need. And now for the side of T1, I'm not sure what the economy looks like, considering they just won, and now they're going to have, what, 1,900 credits coming into their pocket? That's not a lot of money coming in, and the defense just too hard to break through. Is this just opposite day? Is this an episode of SpongeBob that I haven't seen? Because this is nuts.
It's definitely Stranger Things.
Yeah. Okay. You got me there. T1 though, they're gonna need some better weaponry than just some of these Stranger Things. I see a shorty in the hands of Brax, but now TSM looking to clear out some of these angles towards this B site. But T1, they're ready. The defense has arrived. VanSilly, how are T1 going to defend this push?
Well, you see that they really want to take the advantage of pushing towards the spawn site for the attackers, so they smoked out towards the lane. They get the owl drone for the defenders, but as they take control of the shed and the market side, they're forcing the defenders to push through their own smokes or even through Haze's dark cover, and they're just getting depicked, and it works out with a flawless...
He had even originally anticipated.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't think necessarily it's like T1 looking good, but it's just how good TSM is on this map with how many, again, opening kills Subroza is getting for the team, because we do nothing. He's getting kills on rotation as a lurk. That's pretty much it. So far, we usually talk about how good Wardell is on that operator playing that attacker defender side, whatever it is on Ascent. But his name is barely screamed, as it's just right now Subroza getting the entries, and now they're splitting into this site again on the retake for TSM. So it's a 5 versus 5. It's going to be a bloodbath here, Simo.
Yeah, it's going to be Wardell that finds the early pick. It's not Subroza. Crashies. He's going to see one. Sprays with the Spectre, and it works out well. AZK as well. It's only Subroza that is able to answer for some of the spins that have been committed by the other members. But now as they jump in, it's Skadoodle and AZK.
Okay, never mind. They know the purchases aren't that expensive, right? A Ghost at 500 credits, a Shorty at 200, and it could still do a lot of damage. So what they want to do here is hurt the economy on T1's side, maybe salvage even some Bulldogs if they could, and they're using these pistols because they want to take control of A side so they could take the orb. So they don't mind sacrificing each other just to get that orb, and it works out in their favor. They've lost 2 players on top of that, but look at the overhead. At that point, I think they wanted to get the Blade Storm for Wardell so he could pop it out and actually go for a couple of kills should T1 have not pushed that many players or have that many players watch that flank here.
Star player, and you know exactly where he is. It's time to head home. Let's go to somewhere completely different.
Yeah, and it seems as though they're still going to play it slow right now for T1. Subroza is looking to play through the dark cover that was thrown here from crashies as Wardell is going to push forward, and he does get the buckshot into Food. So at that point, there's going to be one player down, a weapon salvage, Cutler pushing forward, getting a frag, and Subroza doing the same thing. Somehow they're turning the round over here, looking for a flawless as the spike is down for the attackers. crashies pushing through, is able to spot Cutler to force him back towards his B side, but as they have now 5 players, a 3-player crossfire set up inside the market, you're pretty much done for crashies. One to swing across, he gets a dink but no kills, but because he only had a Spectre at that point, very tough to do, and Brax as he lurks, pretty much at this point, trying to lurk on a 5 versus 1, 30 seconds left on the clock. You're looking at map and series point here for TSM, and we thought this was going to be a banger. It is a banger no matter what, but at least a closer matchup on this third map that we haven't seen so far. T1 able to pick it up.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate here for one quick second, okay? We saw on Split T1 have such a great start on that map, right? It's very convincing. But then once they swap sides, wow. That's very unfortunate when you try to hop through and you're looking for support. Wardell finds another. This could be the ticket here. TSM fans rejoice as we are nearing the potential end here for the last and final map. hazed now going to swing forward. AZK will answer back, and Cutler now trying to rotate from the back, but that spikes down, and T1 have to work all the way back around to get it. Subroza holding down this angle. Brax on the opposite side, now going to try to dry peek through, does not have the support of his team. Wardell going to be looking towards the fish market. Here's the swing, spots out Subroza, headshot's good, and here comes Wardell, jumps up, and he will go back down immediately now as that spike still not picked up. Here's the swing, Brax will fall, down to one final player. It's AZK, headshot's good. Now the 1v2, the smokes go down, but has to push in regardless. That spike is in enemy territory. There are 40 seconds left that remain. Now the smokes slowly going to subside. It is going to be Cutler and Wardell, the last remaining members here for TSM in 1v2. AZK gets tagged, has to take out that tracking dart, but TSM, they're just holding on to that spike. 20 seconds remain, and AZK, he's got no choice. He has to push in. Only has the Molotov. That's going to be the Blade Storm. He gets spotted out. Has to push forward. It's Cutler. It's Cutler. It's Cutler. Wins the final frag here